Hello. Hello? Okay, that's working just fine. I don't know why that was sounding weird. And anyway, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, Twitch chat. Welcome back to Let Us Play. I'm your host, Father Evans. Good to be with y'all today. Good to see you, Ariam. Good to see you, Brayard. Good to see you, Hope. And I hope everyone is doing well and having a good day. I am going live late because I had a meeting with the General Council. I don't need these. I do that so I don't have to read Twitch chat too closely. I kid. Oh, anyway, Ariam, congratulations. You have won the crown of Furstendom. It is the crown of being late and catching up on things. I'm sorry, it'll be there in 4 to 6 business weeks. Anyway, I hope everyone's doing well. Hope you're having a good day. It's time for Freddi Fish, so let's get to it. All right. Oh man, you have to. I'm sorry, my desktop is so messy, guys. I'm sorry. This is embarrassing. Anyway.
Good morning, Mr. Krabby.
Sorry I'm late, Freddy. I just had to find my Codfish Commando action figure for show and tell.
That's okay, Luther, but we better get going before we're late for school.
Well, welcome back to the Torch for Freddi Fish. We actually didn't get to play Freddi Fish last year. We ran out of time. Also, I have a new thing. I have a new thing. Let me know how this looks. Found a good CRT filter for retro games. Does anything do anything? No! It's a humongous entertainment game! Everything's just a busy box! And they are completely nonplussed about it. Screen looks great, colors are rich. Thank you. Yeah, it's not a huge filter. It's not that much different, but it slightly bows in the corners, and it does add scan lines, but not like super obnoxious ones. I don't get to see it. That's a filter in OBS. My computer still looks normal.
Freddy, did you bring everything you need for school?
Of course I did, Luther. In fact, I'm ready for a great day. And I hope you are too. I've had my breakfast.
I've got my books.
Comb my pins.
Check out my looks.
Ready for learning.
And to have some fun.
Heading off to school. Our day's begun.
I can't skip this. Also, I don't think you should comb your fins. That sounds dangerous. I feel like I'm going mad watching this. Never mind, let's not go to Camelot. It's a silly place. How much do these kind of games cost? Now, like $5.
The guppies say the school is haunted by a ghost, and that the ghost
When they first came out, great
stealing
question.
their toy.
I saw the ghost, Mrs. Croker. It stupefied me with fear, and then it stole my toy.
Boo!
I know by the end of the life cycle,
Hey, that's my toy.
they were sold at like Walmart's.
That couldn't have been real.
You know those like hangers
There's
in
no
the
such
middle of an
thing as
aisle?
ghosts. Luther and I will
These were
find
basically
that
sold on
so-called
those.
ghost
It's like a
and
simple
get back
plastic
all the
case.
toys.
Good luck, Freddy. The guppies all want to be in class. Learning new things is such a gas. If you could get rid of that ghost, Freddy and Luther, you'd be the most.
Those notes are not what they're singing. It's also a very musical game, apparently.
I wonder if that ghost knows that there's no such thing as ghosts.
It's my favorite part of these kind of games. Finding a spot like this that you can just mash click and create a set of sprites.
You just never know when a pair of plastic-coated safety scissors will come in handy.
Freddi Fish is a klepto. Of course, the school team is the Marlins. Wow, look at this cutout. It's almost like there's a secret hole there or something.
Hey, Luther, that was the
What? There's a
Let's
secret hole
get it.
there. Who could have seen that coming?
Hey, you! Stop!
Boo! Whoa! You better look out. I'll be back to get that toy. Freddy, he almost got away with my Codfish Commando action figure. Why does that ghost have to steal kids' toys? Look, it's part of the ghost.
Luther, I don't think that ghosts wear sheets. Whoever is scaring the guppies is just wearing a ghost costume.
Do fish have sheets?
I've got it. Let's build a trap to catch that phony. See? We already have almost everything we need.
Huh?
This is a list of all the things we need to build our trap. We'll just need to get a life preserver, a diver's helmet, a mock stock Mibblebach Whopper Bopper, a cork, and a rope for our trap to
I'm
be
sorry, can you repeat
complete.
that third one?
These are the things we need to find to trap the ghost. We'll still need to get a life
Oysters do because
preserver,
they have beds.
a
Boo! That was bad. Why does all this exist underneath the school?
Say, it's a book about untying knots. We may need it later.
Why would you have a book about untying knots? Surely you'd want a book about tying knots.
Good thing we didn't pass up that purple sea
Unless
urchin.
you're Our,
It might
Our
come
Lady
in
Undoer
handy.
of Knots, but I don't think she needs a book. Is this a post-apocalyptic thing? Like, is this a normal school that got
Hey!
submerged?
We could use this cork to build our trap. Whoa!
Don't let the bubbles escape.
Yeah, you can't let the bubbles out.
Just pulling out the
The
cork
ocean
is
may go away.
definitely not going to work.
Do they still sell them? Yeah, I bought this on Steam. I'm playing it on Steam. I bought more on Steam today because I realized I may not have enough for the whole month that we haven't played yet. Freddy, your trap is going to be convoluted. I don't know what...
Submarine is this way.
Okay, apparently we're going to a submarine. This is post-apocalyptic.
This diving helmet will be great for our trap. Ugh. Hey, Luther, how about giving me a hand?
I really appreciate the great job you're doing.
No, Luther. This helmet is snagged on the kelp.
Luther!
Break it loose.
Oops. Silly me.
Oh, it's stuck. If only I had something to cut it
How are we
with.
gonna get the helmet for our trap?
I'm sure there's a way. We just have to think of it.
When you were 5 years old, you were terrified of parts of this game. You know, for a small child,
Here, Luther.
there's some
Snip ahoy, Captain.
there's some imagery.
It's loose.
We need to get 4 more things to make our trap. Look, it's a purple sea urchin, Luther.
Like the beheading they just did. Yeah. It's just Freddy and Luther, war criminals. I feel like going down is... Oh, we're going down. Oh, it's a cave. Okay. Oh, it's the hungry thing from Eel from the first game.
Nobody but nobody gets past Eddie the Eel.
Hi, Eddie.
I'm in a bad
Oh, no.
mood
Oh, no.
'cause I missed lunch, and you ain't improving things any. Better skedaddle or I might just eat you. And toss down your little green pal for dessert.
Hi, Raiders. Guess what? Guess what stacks? The dial-up tone. Honey Melon. Honey Lemon Melon, thank you for the follow. And Sarah, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Hope you have a good time. All right, who all is here? Inky, A, Darth, Hal, Honey Lemon, Bree, Flame, Saren. Thank you all so much. Good to see you all. Hope you're doing well. Thank you, Bree, Hal, and Flame for the triple raid. I hope you had a good time in Minecraft. This is, it's all good, Saren. It's all good. Welcome to Suffering. I'm living up to the pain suffering tag. I have to. This has become a tradition around here in December for Throwback Thursdays. Is that I do humongous entertainment games, which are great, but also weird. Like, look at them as an adult. There's some things where it's like we just beheaded a scarecrow like it was nothing. They're weird. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Father Evan. I'm a Catholic priest, stream here on Twitch 4 days a week. Oh man, my brain is cooked. I'm not gonna lie. I had a good, but at a very important meeting with the general councils, like the leadership body of my religious order. It was good, but it was had to present like a lot of information, so I'm a little like meh. Popping Rico, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, so I'm a little like out of it. And then this game You just press things and things happen. Wataru Hoshido, thank you for the follow. Welcome on in. How is the rest of Minecraft?
Look, the life preserver that we need for our trap.
Beat it, or I might forget myself and eat you guys.
Sir,
Is this
we
the For
really
Real
need
Evan
that
stream?
life
I
preserver.
like to think I'm a
It's
For
not
Real
mine,
father.
But you
I should
still
put
can't
FR.
get past me.
Then I can be the For Real father. Hey, Step Zero. Good to see you. Doing good, Rico. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Nope. No. No.
Ahoy, Captain Schnitzel. May we have that rope for our trap?
Yeah, you can take it if you can untie it. Even I have never been able to untie that verschlungene knot.
Are you taking Chill Out Sweet Potato as your logo? Oh, I've got a book for this. Oh. What kind of knot is it, chat? Oh no. This is really hard.
Great. Keep going like... Hey, look.
Yeah!
That's not how untying works.
Now we have the rope we need for
Guys,
our
not
trap.
Fisher
We need
scare you.
3
They're
more
scaring
things
me.
to make our ghost trap.
Darth, that's a great motto. You start listening to Christmas music for the season. That's seasonally appropriate.
The exception to this rule I've never seen yet. If you jump in the ocean, you're bound to get wet. Hey, nanny, nanny, and a hot-cha-cha. Hey, nanny, nanny, and a hot-cha-cha.
Why is the flounder German? Every time you untie your shoes, you have to buy a new pair. Oh man, that sounds expensive. I'm going to run away into the submarine. Okay, bye. Wow. I don't think I can say that one out loud, Inky.
Hey, Freddy, it looks like we struck oil. Non-toxic, biodegradable oil, to be exact.
So
How
useless?
do you like it? I call it the wet look.
Just toss the oil over here.
You're busy clearing the radio. It's all good. Good to have you, Hal. Good thing oil stays separate from water. Yeah, but if it's biodegradable, wouldn't it degrade in the water? Thank you for the lurk, Hal. Totally understand if you need to raid and dash. Mustache! Hey, good to see you. How you doing? You need sleep. Go get some sleep. Sleep is important. Doing good, except my brain is gone already. Oh, there's an instrument. This is... I don't have a tin xylophone.
My glasses on my head sure improve my view. They make it quite clear that I'm a EU. I think it's quite obviously clear to see. My glasses help improve my ocularity.
What? Improves his ocularity. Well, for those of you who don't know, by the way, the reason I mentioned the xylophone specifically is I collect weird instruments. Like I have a nice like actual kazoo made out. Most of them are made out of tin. I have a jaw harp. I have a slide whistle. I have a marimba, and I have an odomatone, which you can actually see if I can point. No 5-year-old has a clue what ocularity is. No 5-year-old's going to be able to repeat the word ocularity. Yeah, that's how I feel, mustache. Do you have the electric kazoo? No, but I think I need to. After hearing that phrase, I think I need to. I'm worried what's... My mother likes to help find weird instruments. Now I'm afraid to find out what's going to be in my Christmas stocking.
That could be useful.
Have I played Herbal Place and Jumpstart? No. I have no idea what Purple Place is. I think I know what Jumpstart is.
I wondered how it'd feel to get your head caught in a pipe, and now I know. It feels bad.
Donut steel tongue drum. No, that's another. There's like a whole laundry list of weird instruments, but I don't want to just like go out and buy them all. It's, you know. Also, no, I've never heard of a slapophone, and I'm very intrigued now. Also, this turtle is stuck in a pipe.
Hey, could you folks kindly help me get this pipe off my head?
It would be our pleasure, sir. Oh, Luther! Harder! Harder!
Let's check them out. That's good, because it's been a tradition to play these, to play the humongous entertainment games on Throwback Thursday.
These are my plastic-coated safety scissors.
Every Thursday I do retro games. And during December, it's become tradition on the channel, because this is the 3rd year of doing it now. Yeah, Freddy, you have scissors. Time to do surgery. And metal pipes. Hey, Shadow Vision.
Tucker will help you as soon as we can.
Tucker the Turtle, because everyone's got to have alliteration. Yeah, I'm familiar with the Jumpstart brand. I don't think I ever played any of the games. That was more like a generation after
There's
me.
another purple sea urchin we can add to our collection.
Have I tried oiling the turtle? I'm not frying him. Leapfrog, yeah. There's another one.
Chocolate covered
Fine. I don't think I
doodles,
like.
my favorite.
I'm not sure I know Clue Finder.
Luther, no! You'll get hooked.
Huh? Hooked
It's
on
drugs,
junk
Freddy.
food?
No, I mean there's a fishing hook stuck into that worm doodle.
Freddy, you saved my life. What could I ever do to repay you?
Stop overacting.
Hey, Luther, check.
If
Check
we use
this out.
our fins to take the worm doodle off the fishing hook, we could get hurt. I'll bet these scissors will do the trick.
They'll cut right through the metal.
Great.
Luther, we need to save the rest for later.
I guess you're right, Freddy.
Do we? We could have just let Luther get hooks. Would we have lost anything from the Freddi Fish series had Luther accidentally been hooked? How did the worm get off the hook? Don't worry about it. One edutainment game I'd love to get working is, it's like Super Solvers Think is the name, but dang, that game is hard to get working again, because I gotta like... Although I think maybe I have a way now. It's just really tricky within what kind of friend would you be if you let him get hooked on chocolate-covered worm doodle? I mean, sometimes people need
A drop of oil might do the trick.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh! No head!
What's with the beheadings in this game?
It's not in here.
Poor Tucker. I hope he gets a head in life, because he sure doesn't have one now.
Luther, you can't
Sure
say
I
that.
do. It was just stuck in my shell.
Whew. Are we glad you're okay?
Thanks to you kids.
Now we have a metal
Do
pipe.
you know where I could get some shell cleaner?
Probably at a shell cleaner store.
I'm running away from here. I'm going into the danger pit. Why does Luther have to suffer so much? Oh, Math Blaster. Math Blaster, yes. Yeah, that's a game. I'm enjoying the puns. Yeah. I mean, I suppose it's the punishment I get for telling bad puns myself.
The current is too strong. I'll have to go the other way.
Speaking of which, Gale has redeemed a father joke. Okay, I don't know what all that was for. That's my father joke. I want to share a bookmark I was given on Thanksgiving. Fall for Jesus. He never leaves us. I love this. Wish you could remember more of the edutainment games you played. Reader Rabbit. Oh yeah. Never played that one. I always wanted Mario Teaches Typing. Ah, spooky ghost. We're just always on the same page. You're sharing the brain cell today. I have an emote for that. There you go. Same brain cell. Super Mario Teaches Speed Typing. It was an actual game. Mario Teaches Typing.
This pipe would fit great with
Hey, you
that
take care, Rico.
cookie.
Thanks for the
I
follow.
don't know, Freddy. It looks kinda small.
Was that an Indiana Jones reference?
Jumpin' jellyfish. It worked.
I told you it would fit.
Now 2 more things and we'll have everything we need to build our ghost trap.
Goku Vegeta fusing. I'm trying to remember. We had some that were like... Oh no!
If yous guys don't stop nosing around the schoolhouse, the ghost will turn you into a couple of fish sticks.
I'm no jellyfish. You can't scare me.
However, you can scare me.
Well, don't say we didn't warn ya.
I am terrified. Yeah, I had... If you had, like, summer workbooks as a kid, there were some that had games, like CD games involved. I don't remember what those were, what brand those were. We always had Mavis Beacon in school.
Here's your chance
Is our
to do
typing
a good
class.
deed and feed a hungry fellow sea creature.
You mean give up my
Hey,
worm
Kryptonite.
doodle? My very favorite thing in the whole wide world?
Come on, Luther. Do it for Eddie.
Bunch of... I could see...
Ah, well, my duty
I can see Hasbro
is
being a
clear.
big publisher of that.
Wow! I'm getting a major league sugar rush. See you guys later.
Childhood trauma. No, no, not childhood trauma. Childhood
Luther,
nostalgia.
That was very
You spelled
noble.
nostalgia
I'm
wrong.
proud of you.
Yeah, I do noble pretty well, don't I?
That was tasty, that was crunchy, and my belly's full. When I get to eat such treats, they give me such a pull. It gave me such a smile to gobble it all up. Now I'm satisfied, I'm happy as a pup.
Everyone said he had to give up his favorite thing in the whole world. Oh, is that the trauma? Is a
This
chocolate-covered
life
worm doodle
preserver's
your favorite
just
thing?
what we need to build our trap. There's only one more thing we need.
Yes, Grandfather. We know you never had a toy in your whole life, but...
But we can't get you any until the kids are out of the classroom. Well, the kids haven't left yet because of that Freddi Fish. Yes, Squidfather. No more excuses. We'll do what we gotta do.
Huge missed opportunity to not call him the Codfather.
Just what do we gotta do, huh?
We gotta get rid of those kids.
He's gonna blot you out. You better watch out. He'll put styrofoam on your fins and you'll be walking with the humans.
See an urchin pick it up, and all the day you'll have good luck.
Or you get poisoned. That can also happen by picking up an urchin if you're not careful.
Even if I used all my strength, gee, I don't think I can jump.
Well, I'm escaping the aquarium and I'm going out into the big ocean.
Hooray! We made it to the other side.
Hey, Zach.
Hi, Mr. Triple Fin.
Hey, kids. What did the teacher say to the noisy shell?
Is this a trick question?
Clam up!
Do you ever stop and just ask yourself, how did all the circumstances in your life lead to this moment. Yeah, me neither. Anyway.
Sitting on my porch, well, nothing could be finer. Except maybe eating at Eddie's all-you-can-eat diner. The food there's
Never mind, I'm
healthy and
beginning to question things
tastes
again.
good to me. You know, I only wish that it could be free.
No, that's how I stay happy. That's valid. Okay, so I'm guessing we rolled something where this guy is not important. Hey, you take care. Thank you for the follow. Good to meet you.
All right, let's play Crab Invaders. Don't let them ring the bell. I sure like this game.
Oh no. Oh no, a candy spin.
There goes another one. Oh,
This is
that one. That one.
this is the worst version of Space Invaders.
All right. We can leave when the arrow flashes.
Questioning things, eh? Usually. I like questioning things. It's a good way to learn. All right, candy wheel, spin, spin, spin. What did Mustache win? Brew candy. I have too many questions. You can have some. I'm running low on brew candy. Darn. Okay, I have the IPA or I have the honey ale, I think it is. Which one should I have, Mustache? Honey ale? Oh, thank goodness. It's still not good, but it's better than the IPA one. Tastes kind of like mead. Yeah. But I like mead. This tastes like soap.
It's a list that shows what we need to build our trap.
Where am I supposed to get this thing? It tastes sweet, but not like honey sweet, but like almost agave. But then there's just like this aftertaste of soap. You would like to try mead? I recommend it. It's good. Bubblegum. It has notes of bubblegum. Ale should not taste like bubblegum. If I didn't say it, good to see you, Tantalus. Welcome on in. Oh, wrong way. Why would they add that flavor? I don't know! Oh, that's who we want to see. The Manta Ray. He always has the Super Duca Express. And a song.
A top-notch hodgepodge wristwatch just for fun. Too bad I already sold the last one.
Well, you just told us you sold the last one.
Hi, kids. What can I do you for?
Oh, you sound extra
Ray,
creepy here.
how's business?
You probably heard that I am now a collector of fine new and used trophies. And I'm trading one other specialty item. A Mockstock Mibblebach Whopper Bopper. A very hot item, I might add.
Luther! That's one of the things we need to build the trap. How much does a Mockstock Mibblebach Whopper Bopper go for?
This is way under my cost, but since you're such swell-looking kids, I'll let you have it for one slightly used trophy.
I think we could probably find a
Why do
used
you want
trophy.
it slightly used? What? No. No. Ethiopian meat. Ooh, that sounds interesting. Wow, chat, where do you think we're gonna find a trophy? Could it be in the Pulley Emporium? Movies? Hall of Fame? It's gotta be the Pulley Emporium.
We hear rhyming abounds in your pulley emporium.
Just point to a pulley. I've got a whole store of them.
You have, like,
That looks
3.
like an interesting pulley.
The Flying Dutchman's captain found true love, you see, and had no need to sail no more, so he sold me this here pulley.
On second thought, let's try the movies. Okay, what references are they gonna have here?
Hey, it looks like the first show is about to start.
There are a lot of shows. Did you just sneak in without paying? No, I think Freddi Fish lives in a post-scarcity utopia. Or a nightmare. Where am I? I've had sleep very soon. Hi, Inka. How you doing? Welcome on in. Don't worry, it was only one raid. It wasn't a... You haven't gone through multiple channels to get here. Valid. I never played any of the Spy Fox games, actually. Is he Canadian? Godzilla. Wonder if Freddi Fish would get along with SpongeBob? Probably not, because no one would get along with SpongeBob. Freddi Fish would probably get along with Squidward. What did I just witness?
You gotta have them. Worm doodle. Squishy, squashy worm doodle in all your favorite flavors. Original, chocolate, sea cucumber, lemon, orange, red, and new fat-free. Grab them.
I love that red is a flavor. That is so 90s.
I'm glad you know how to...
What is flavors of fish? Would fish be able to taste? I don't know. I don't know how good a fish's sense of taste is.
Hector Tetra invented the
They
kelp
taste red, that's for
calculator,
sure.
used in ocean research by kelpologists. That's the trophy I won for the deep sea spelling bee. I was going to pick it up after school today.
Darn! The trophy case is locked.
I wonder who we could get the combination from.
Hey, I think this fell off the back of the lock.
It says, to get the combination to this lock, show this card to Mr. Triplefin.
So, if we show this card to Mr. Triplefin, he'll give us the combination.
Luther, you're a genius.
I know.
Who's Mr. Triplefin? Chad, I haven't been paying attention to their names. Is Triplefin the hillbilly, or is Triplefin the one by the submarine? In other words, combination Mr. Triplefin show card get. I think I just had a stroke. Do it at the cabin. Ah, thank you. Thank you, Kit. I'm glad someone was paying attention. Is this the way to the cabin? Yes. Oh, good. Like I said, I'm a little out of it this afternoon. I got a lot done this morning, but I had a very important meeting just before this, and so I was just kind of coming into it like, meh.
What's this? Hey, you giving me the business?
Your business card, sir.
Well, so it is. You boys will be wanting the combination to the trophy case.
Excuse me, sir, but I'm not a boy. I'm a girl.
Hey, that's a coincidence. So's Mrs. Triplefin.
Thanks for the combination, Mr. Triplefin. This says the combination to the lock is 5, 3, 4.
Yeah, it's the same combination on my luggage. But I'm Tiss, you want? I can do that. It can also trigger millennials everywhere. Your new water heater arrived! Yay! That is good. Hope installation happens swiftly. Hey, Craig. Where's the next note? Where's the next note?
I'll bet we can get this lock open now.
I don't know what you're talking about. There's just one note. Why do they only go in one direction?
It worked!
All right.
Why is the spelling bee trophy under so
I
much
remember
lock?
how proud I was when I won this trophy.
Gee, it looks expensive. It looks like it's made out of gold.
No, Luther. The trophy isn't gold. Only the memories that go along with it.
The friends we made along the way? Hey, for those of you joining, you may not have noticed this, but I can turn it off for a moment. This is how it would have normally been. This is with the CRT filter. Your insulin, please. Too sweet, too saccharine. I found a good CRT filter to use for doing retro games. I kind of like it. It actually simulates the individual phosphorus.
Nice quality. Kid, you just made the deal of the century.
Gee, Freddy, sorry you had to give up your spelling bee trophy. I know how much that trophy meant to you.
It's okay, Luther. I remember how special it was to win it, and that's what really matters. Let's go catch that ghost.
Wow. I thought they were legitimately, like, setting up to be like,
We're
aw,
ready to
here's your
make our
trophy
trap,
back.
Luther.
We'll get to the road to as soon as this cutscene is done.
That's just about everything. Luther, can we use your toy as bait?
Well, okay.
Our trap is complete. Someone's coming.
Hey, boss!
Freddy looks shell-shocked. A little bit, yeah.
Toy. Let's grab it!
Now, Luther.
This seems convoluted and like it requires them to be remaining still.
Hey! It's Freddi Fish!
And Luther.
Luther, you're not in the title of the game.
How could you two scare the poor little guppies and steal their toys?
The Squid Father told us to, 'cause he's never had any.
You should know that you can't just take things that belong to someone else.
You know, she just might have a point there, boss.
Okay, you can give back the toys.
The Squid Father doesn't need the toys as much as the guppies.
Here, give this to the Squid Father. He should have at least one toy.
Come on, Luther. Let's take these toys back to the guppies. Look what we
Found the
found.
Guppy's toys.
Hip hip hooray! We solved the mystery, Mrs. Croker!
There wasn't really a ghost haunting the school. It was just those sharks pretending to be a ghost.
Congratulations! You saved the school!
GG, team. GG. You're super slick. Fatty Bear cameo. Fatty Bear. Fatty Bear reference. No.
Are you sure you want to stop playing?
Goodbye! Don't forget to write!
Sanity. How many, it was just those sharks? The school of guppies. The guppies fought back. How many Humongous Entertainment games am I going to play? I have 2 Freddi Fish games. Well, not just one. That I have not played yet. 2 Putt-Putt games, Fatty Bear, and what's the other one? Pajama Sam. I have Pajama Sam. So, however many we get through on Thursday. Speaking of which, we got to go pull up the next one. That's fine, Scum VM. I don't care. Oh my.
How are you enjoying the flight on Pelican Fam Airlines, Freddy?
A lot, Sam. Gosh, Luther, it was really great of your Uncle Blenny to invite us to the Founders Day Festival.
Well, Uncle Blenny says that I'm his favorite nephew. And you know I'd never take a special trip like this without my best friend, Freddi Fish.
Okay, when we land and we don't have anything going on, I'll do the rota. Magic conch. Magic conch, what should we do? Nothing.
Smooth landing.
Luther? Thanks for the lift, Sam.
Have a good time.
Okay, Rotida. Happy feast day of St. John Damascene, or John of Damascus. A very important figure for iconography, actually, because there was debate back and forth in the Christian world as to whether or not icons should be allowed. And at the time, the emperor was anti icons, although his wife was pro icons, and ultimately she helped lead the Second Council of Nicaea in 787. But an important theological figure leading into that was the work of St. John Damascene. And the reason he was able to write in favor of icons is because he lived outside of the empire. He was not a subject of the emperor, and so he lived in the caliphate, and he was free to write about it and develop a theology, and that was very important. And so his legacy is still lasting today in the Catholic Church and in the Byzantine Orthodox Church with the use of icons. So, big fan. I have a bunch of icons on my wall, and there are more that you cannot see. But he did write that, but I wasn't, out of interreligious sensitivity, I wasn't going to repeat it.
I wonder what will happen if I pull this plug.
Great job. I knew you could pull it off. Get it? Pull off?
Oh, Luther.
Luther! Freddy! Over here!
Uncle Blenny?
Why is
Uncle
Blenny in
Blenny.
jail?
What are you doing in jail?
Well, Luther, the great conch shell was stolen. The Founders' Day festival can't start without it. Since I'm the grand exalted keeper of the conch, I'm the prime suspect. But I didn't do it. Here's a diagram of the conch shell before it was taken. The priceless conch had 3 golden pipes, but they may have fallen out.
Why is Uncle
and
Blenny?
Here's a picture of all the people who were nearby when the crime
Everyone asks
happened.
why is Uncle Blenny,
There's
not
Gil
how is
Barker,
Uncle Blenny.
Claw, Nadine the narwhal, Rosie Pearl, Pierre the tailor, and Horst Fetters the tourist.
Can't your dogfish sniff out the thief?
Old soggy sniffer ain't what it used to be. But if he can get the 3 golden pipes, he can pick up the scent.
We'll find the 3 golden pipes, Uncle Blenny.
You're my only hope, nephew. You and your friend Freddi Fish.
Why does he have this stuff? I don't think you ask questions in these games. Look at this. We know he's super crook. Aha! It was Kirk. Hello, suspect.
Oh, if only I, Pierre, had the perfect accessory for my hat, mon chapeau.
What's wrong with the egg that's on it?
The egg, it is too roly-poly. But I suppose it will have to do. Unless, of course, I could get the perfect accessory, a blue-tailed joey bird feather.
That would look beautiful, Pierre.
The nostalgia. Yeah, these games are great at that. And then also there's moments where like, wow, I played this as a kid.
Excuse me, sir, but are you a tailor?
Not just a tailor. I am Pierre the tailor. When Pierre men sings, they are better than new.
So if something was torn into a million billion teensy little pieces, could you mend it together?
Bishar, with my eyes closed, floating on my head, and with both fins tied behind my back.
Pierre has escaped Lumiere.
The great conch that our founder holds is a one-of-a-kind shell. There are no others like it in the entire ocean.
So why was the statue flexing? Also, we literally never used the purple sea urchins in the last game.
Eye, something beginning with a P. Can you guess what it is?
It's a purple sea urchin.
Good work, Luther.
This game seems much larger than the other one.
Look, a purple sea urchin.
I don't know why we're collecting, but we are.
Freddy, how come there are no pink polka-dotted sea urchins?
But there are. They live in the secret sea, where everything is pink and polka dotted.
Is that the same place my fish
You
went
just
when it
made that
disappears?
up, didn't you?
Uh-huh.
Look, Freddy, there's something behind that waterfall.
Wait! Luther!
Your fish, you can swim under it. Or through it.
Whew!
You want to
That
go there?
knocked the wind out of me.
Me too. We're just gonna have to find another way to get to that waterfall.
Sounds like a bit much. I was going to say, are there any pink polka dotted sea urchins left? No, Luther. They went extinct in the War of 2036.
Freddy, it's a key!
Good eye, Luther.
Freddy, you can't just take things.
Hey, Luther. Do you see what I see?
Purple sea urchin!
Do you see what I see? Isn't that... they're getting ready for Christmas. They're singing the hymn, but they're singing it wrong. What do you want,
Would
monkey?
you like to try a banana? No, thanks. I already had a big bowl of krill toasties for breakfast. By the way, name's Magenta.
I'm Luther, and this is Freddi Fish.
You could probably tell it's a fish. Luther, I mean, come on.
Hi, my name is Luther, and this is my best friend Freddi Fish.
I am Horst Feathers, I am. My eyebrows to the store take.
That phrase book isn't 100% accurate, is it?
Sheesh! Katie, Foo 32 with the raid. Thank you, Katie. So good to see you. Welcome on in, friends. My name is Father Evan. Playing some Freddi Fish for some Throwback Thursday, some comfy nostalgia for December. But, yeah. How was your stream, Katie? What were you up to? All I was going to say to the seahorse is my hovercraft is full of eels. Oh, you're continuing with my time at Porsche. How's that going? Was your farm repossessed yet?
Boga, boga, boga.
Sever your leg. You're committing tax evasion. Well, there you go.
This key looks like it will open that lock.
You should play Turnip Boy commits tax evasion then.
Luther, we got one of the golden pipes.
All right.
Now we need just 2 more golden pipes for old Dottie to pick up the scent.
Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Nobody knows my sorrow.
Dude, you're in the equivalent of like a mall jail. You're fine.
Gee, I wonder how many golden pipes Freddy and Luther have now. I sure hope you're right. Oh.
Look, Freddy, it's a Snaboopy Pop.
No, it's not. It's a purple sea urchin.
I knew
Luther.
that. I just like to say Snaboopy Pop.
Luther, are you okay?
Snaboopy Pop, Snaboopy Pop, Snaboopy Pop.
Remind me after this game to have Luther institutionalized.
Hey, get out of the Bullies Club. What do you two want?
Excuse me, but I was wondering if we could borrow that flashlight to find the golden pipes.
If it's in the clubhouse, it must be the clubhouse flashlight. And maybe you didn't notice, but this is the Bullies Club, and I just happen to be the president. Ooh,
You're a blowhard.
we'd
And
sure
a jerk.
appreciate it if you give us that flashlight. Sure, I'll give it to you. Right up your nose. Ha ha ha!
I think you're acting really despicably.
But it's no use trying to butter me up, 'cause I ain't giving you the flashlight.
Here's a lobster. Butter him up. I get it. Vocabulary where? Education in my edutainment game? No.
Step right up, gills and buoys, for the most amazing carnival under the sea. You remember the terrific tumble tubes ride last year? Well, what we've got in store for you this year is even better.
Gratuitous educational comment. This is the game that spawned gratuitous educational comment.
You know my
Or,
uncle
well, not this
Freddy's
game, but
innocent.
Humongous
So
Entertainment.
who really stole the great conch shell?
I think you should pull Pierre aside for a little talk. The scene of the crime is awfully close to his tailor shop. Got 4 purple sea urchins just burning a hole in your pocket?
Actually, I do.
And step right up to Gil Barker's fantastic
poison is quite
floating
burning.
pond. You'll have more fun than a barrel of brine shrimp and end up taking home a fabulous funhouse mirror. This one is a demo. The one you get will be even better. Just pay, then play, do it today. Hey, 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 and what do you say?
Here's a purple sea urchin.
Why would you buy
That's
it?
just 1 purple sea urchin. I need 3 more before you guys get through the door.
And I can't give all 4 at once.
Another purple
Heaven
sea urchin for
forbid.
you.
Purple sea urchin number 2, but that ain't gonna do. 2 purple sea urchins more bring the total to 4.
By the way, chat,
Here's another purple sea urchin.
thanks to the generosity of everyone on Tuesday,
That's 3
we have
purple
unlocked
sea
2
urchins,
new
and I'm
emote
one away
slots
from having
on the
enough
channel.
to let you play.
And I'm not sure what to put in there. Off the
Here's
top of my
our
head.
last purple sea urchin.
4 purple sea urchins, precisely the price of admission. And fortunately for you two, we're having a special. For every little yellow fish that pays admission, a little green fish gets in absolutely free.
Boy, did I ever hit this on the right day.
Flip the critters up the wall. When enough of the same critters touch each other, they'll go away. If you use all the critters in the tube, you'll advance to a new level.
Any chance for Busted Halo? Ooh.
Watch out. When the critters move above the
I could put the...
bar,
We use
they
the
won't go
O
away.
in our logo as our Busted Halo now. We used to have a different, like, Halo logo. So that is a thought. I just want to intentionally fail. Oh, wow. It is so hard to intentionally fail. And the timing is a little janky.
We finished the level.
In appreciation of your prodigious prowess, the world-famous Floating Fun is proud to present you with this, a fantabulous funhouse mirror replica.
Isn't that just a funhouse mirror? Or is there like one platonic ideal of the
There's no
funhouse
time
mirror
for
and
that
all others
now,
are replicas?
Luther.
Thanks, Gil. Wow, it's a Grandma Grouper fortune teller machine. I've heard about these.
How did your grandma become the model of the fortune tellers? Hey, Pajama Sam! It's a funhouse mirror in every way except 1/5 the size.
Great things are in store for you.
I wonder which store they're talking about.
Probably Macy's. Oh no. Music.
They
Math.
brought a carnival organ in for the Founders Day Festival. I love music. The organ knows. There are 9 drum rhythms we can record 9 songs.
We could, or we could just run away.
I'm so scared of the dark, I can't even think.
Well,
Hey,
if we keep
Jizo.
our wits about us, we'll figure out a way to brighten this place up.
Maybe with the flashlight we saw?
We can change the
The narwhal did it. Look at that modified monotooth.
Excuse me, but I think you've got something rather large caught between your teeth.
Silly boy, those are my teeth. I mean, my tooth. Only 1% of lady narwhals ever grow one, so that makes me rather special, don't you think?
Well, to tell the truth, I'm sure that as narwhals go, you're right up there.
Look, Luther, a plastic shovel.
We could use it to dig a hole all the way to the other side of the world.
Whatever you say, Luther.
She's the 1%.
When I want to go down to the bottom of the sea, I go swim around at the bottom of the sea. Won't you come join me? Oh, at the bottom of the sea, down here.
That's a real bop. That should be #1 on everyone's Spotify Wrapped next year. If it's not, I don't know what to tell you.
I sure wouldn't want to get my tail caught in that clam's sharp scissor-like jaws. Look, Luther! The doorway's clear!
Swell. Freddy, it's the terrific tumble tubes.
I won't fit in these tubes, Luther, but you can go.
Whoopee! Wahoo! Banzai!
I think this makes you go through the tubes twice. This just opened that tube.
Whee! Yippee! Woo-hoo-hoo! Ah!
Okay, I'm guessing in one of the versions, because like the things you need are randomized, so that it's replayable for kids. One of the versions, there's probably something in one of those pipes, but we didn't roll that. That's actually one of the, like, I do think these are well-designed games in general, and they're great for kids, but that is a particularly well-designed piece. What's up, bully? We're here to have an intervention. Look at yourself.
President of the Bullies Club, I command you to leave.
Freddy, I know we need his flashlight to get Uncle Blenny out of jail, but this guy is too mean to mess with.
Hey, Luther, I have a plan. Step, step.
You!
What the? Why?
You what?
Huh? Yoinks! They brought reinforcements! Big, stupid-looking, ugly ones! Oh! Oh!
Can we borrow that flashlight now?
Sure. In fact, you can keep that flashlight as long as you want.
I feel like I should be worried about a flashlight underwater. Surely that can't be good for the batteries. It's a sealed battery compartment. Oh, okay. Okay. It's a diver's
Freddy,
flashlight.
I'm afraid of the dark. Please turn the lights on.
I think we have a way to do that, Luther. This flashlight will add some light, Luther, so you won't have to be afraid anymore.
Who, me? I wasn't afraid.
Yeah.
Freddy, there's a golden pipe in here.
Way to go, Luther! All we need is one more golden pipe, and old Doggy can snip out the thief. Let's leave the flashlight here, Luther. That way, when we come back, we'll be able to see.
Where was the last golden pipe?
Is it true that we're not going to have a festival? Is it, Mommy? Gee, I hope they can find the conch shell so we can have a festival. I've waited all
Yeah, intimidate them, especially through mental manipulation. That is, in fact, what Freddi Fish is teaching. Maybe these games aren't good for children.
Uncle Blenny is depending on us to find one more golden pipe and the stolen conch shell and figure out who the thief really
We
is.
haven't met the blue squid. Nah, it turned out fine. I mean, I played these games too, and I'm... Well, anyway, moving on.
I'd better hold on to this. You just never know when a drain plug might come in handy.
She almost sounds like she's from Nova Scotia there, eh? Don't you know?
At Pelican Sam Airlines, we never leave you up in the air.
I forget. What is Pierre looking for?
It's a drain plug.
Ah, a blue-tailed joey bird feather would replace that roly-poly egg magnificently.
Blue feather, got it. Right, monkey friend.
It's a plastic shovel. It's a drain plug. Hey, Luther, help me dig out this old hollow log and pull it into the water.
Okie dokie.
Luther is helping. Oh, wait, no, he is actually helping. Okay.
All right.
Come on, Luther, help me push this log.
Well, I'm not pushy by nature, but in this case, I'll make an exception.
Luther, you're kind of pushy.
Ugh.
Don't let up. We're doing great.
Ugh. If we can just keep the log moving, we'll be home free. Ugh. I just had a brainstorm. This old hollow log might help us get through the waterfall.
We
No.
should try having brainstorms on a more regular basis.
I'm having that thing, an idea with pictures.
Luther, I think we need to find something else for that blue-tailed joey bird to cuddle with if we want to get that golden pipe.
Like an egg?
Look, it's a feather from a blue-tailed joey bird.
It's a very circular puzzle.
It's beautiful, Freddy.
Good job, Luther.
Oh, there she is.
Hi, folks, and welcome to the world-famous Luau Show, where we bring you everything from the dramatic to the acrobatic, and it's all 100% aquatic. So now, ladies, gentlefish, and guppies, prepare to be amused and amazed.
Hey, you take care, Chizo. We're going to actually be wrapping up here pretty quick because I have the house mass at 5:30, so I can't go the full 2 hours today. How'd they get an onion?
Hey, let's make some noise out there!
We got your feather. Can we have an egg?
If I had one blue-tailed joey bird feather, my hat creation, it would be complete.
Pierre, we found a beautiful blue-tailed joey bird feather.
And we thought you might like it to decorate your hat.
Oh, yes! The feather is a perfect accessory for my hat, mon chapeau. You can't keep that roly-poly egg.
Voila!
It's magnifique.
Okay, bye. Now go all the way back.
This egg should make that blue-tailed joey bird happier than that golden pipe afterwards.
What?
Golden cats, Luther.
No, Freddy. Golden pipe. We did it, Freddy! We found all 3 golden pipes.
Come on. Let's see if old Soggy can pick up the bad guy's scent. Here you go, boy. Come on, Luther. We've got a bad guy to catch.
Oh, right. This area.
Old
This is where we'll leave it off for the day.
The thief!
We'll pick it up next time, and then we'll do other Humongous Entertainment games.
A jewel! I'm gonna be rich, rich, rich!
I don't see this ending poorly.
Uh-oh.
Hey, what happened?
Luther,
I
you have
picked on
condemned
this
us.
jewel and then I took it out and the door closed and I don't...
Just put the jewel back, Luther.
Luther! Oops.
Don't worry, I'll find a way to get you out so you can put the jewel
Why
back.
does Luther get punished
and
for
we
stealing, but
can
Freddy's
catch
is like
that
rewarded for it? She's a klepto.
Old Soggy, you go on ahead and track that shell thief. We'll meet you back at the center of town as soon as we can.
Uh-oh. Oh, you can't save in Freddi Fish. Oh, no. Oh, no, that reset it all. Oh, no! Panic, everything's gone terrible. Well, we'll figure that out when we get to it. We'll burn that bridge next week. I might just have to do it all over again leading up to that point. If we choose to continue it, we could also just be like, we know how it ends. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in to Let Us Play. I've been your host, Father Evan. It's been good to be with y'all today, and I hope you have a great rest of your day and a great weekend. Join us again on Monday for more Dream Drop Distance. Tuesday, we will be playing Ominous Horizons. It's a sequel to Catechumen, interestingly enough, where Swoliel comes from. Wednesday is Minecraft. Going to be continuing in the Cobblemon stuff, which is a lot of fun. And then Thursday, more Humongous Entertainment games. Don't know if we'll do Putt Putt. Don't know if we'll do Fatty Bear. Don't know if we'll do Pajama Sam. We'll see how I'm feeling. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. And thank you to everyone who's liked, followed, subscribed, given bits. Thank you for the raids from Bree, Hal, Flame, Katie. And again, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Great weekend. Thank you for checking out the YouTube and the Discord. If I didn't say that, shout out to you, YouTube. Yeah, let's see who's live that we can raid into. Bye, Frevin. We're gonna raid Will Pog. Raid call is Father Raid. Go give him some love. He's playing The Last Caretaker. Nothing ominous about that. And again, I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Or have a great weekend. Have a great rest of your day. Take care. God bless.